Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crav'in Iron Podcast. This is episode 15. I'm your host, Stephen Fiora. Today, I'm here with Martin Lasalde. How's it going, Martin?
Pretty good. How's it going with you, brother?
Not too bad, brother. So I see you have your new gear.
Yeah. Gotta represent.
Hell yeah. So just a reminder, this podcast is for everybody with a story or get your story out there. The hardworking motherfuckers of the world that are like us, you and me, Martin, get your story out there. So to start, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your story, your background?
Well, born and raised in Valle, California. Literally never left the state. Just never had any time to go do it. Just on work, school, getting graduated, and getting out so I could just make the money, and just kept working, and it's pretty much it right there. Just good old country boy, just working, and that's it.
Where you from in California?
San Joaquin Valley, Visalia, California. A little town in between Fresno and Tulare.
Oh, okay. Do you know Napa Valley, Napa County?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm from around that area.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, ended up moving to Arizona. It's been about 5 years now.
Nice.
But yeah, I was the same way. Haven't been out of the state. Just country boy who lived out in the mountains and the sticks.
Yeah, same here. It's just right on the edge of town, all the way before they started building out past the whole edge of town. Is like literally born and raised out in the field, picking walnuts and plums and whatnot, and running up there barefooted and every day when I was a kid growing up. And be out there with all the big boys.
Yeah, and what do you do for work now, bud?
Right now, I'm kind of in between being laid off and on disability due to my diagnosis and whatnot. But I was working doing a shop labor at a big company here in town called Todd Companies, and I worked my way up from the bottom, picking weeds and spraying the Roundup and everything, sweeping, working up to being a driver and a tool manager. So,
okay.
All the guys had to come, hey, I need this, I need that. And, well, gotta come to me, log it down, and you want your shit, you gotta come ask me. You ain't gonna get it for free though.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now
put me in charge.
So how'd you grow up? Are you you're a hardworking motherfucker. I mean, it's plain to see with your posts and everything, and you're starting to get a pretty decent following, and you're part of the Action Sleds' demo crew as well. So,
yeah.
What made you the man you are today?
Well, a lot of hard fucking work. It was pretty tough. Growing up, it was just me and my dad. From 3 years old, my biological mother left, so it was just me and him. And he was always working, and I just saw that, and it was like I saw that I wanted to work and be like him, but I never saw the factor of wanting to stay in school and getting that handled first. It was just like I just want to work, be like my dad and fucking work with my hands, and it was fucking school was so hard to do growing up and whatnot. I could just staying up till like midnight doing work from like elementary into high school, about early high school. And then once that came in and the weight started falling in and whatnot, I started, getting more into, a lot more focusing on getting the schoolwork done so I can get a better job and whatnot and be like my dad, or get even better with a company or something, to even come up with my own or something. But it was just growing up, just being like my dad, like working. But
yeah, it's a blue collar type.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So right now, you say you have a fiance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how's that all going? And how'd you meet her?
It's going pretty good. About 5 years ago, we met at our well, at her current job still, but it was when I got back on my feet with a good job working at Target. Um, I was a backroom worker, and she was out there on the floor. And one day I just seen her, and I was like, "Damn!" So, all right, trying to build up the courage and be like, I got game, but didn't have no game whatsoever. And she finally told one of my friends, she's like, "Hey, if you see him, tell him here's my number and to call me." I was like, "Oh, all right." And called her, and she didn't pick up. So I was like, "What the fuck?" So I texted her.
Just teasing you.
Yeah, she was. She was. And I texted her, and then at the same time, we both texted our friend, and we're like, "Oh, she's not answering," and she's like, "Oh, he's calling me, trying to. What do I do?" So we're like, "Uh." So I was like, it felt like puppy love again, and then we started talking for about a month, taking it slowly, and then hit it off, and just been together ever since for 5 years. So
Oh,
now
5 years.
we're looking to get married about sometime around I think the 17th of this month.
Hmm. Yeah, you gonna do the marriage thing with this Corona shit going on?
Yeah, it's gonna be small, but we're not gonna do big. She don't want to go all out, but we found somebody that can do it, and she's like, if they're willing to get married and all this other stuff, then I'm down to do it. So I was like, fuck, let's get it done.
Yeah. All right. So now you said you have a diagnosis, and I know a little bit about it, but and honestly, when it comes to that kind of scenario that you're in and the shit that you're kind of dealing with, I have like zero clue about it. And I know just a little bit of detail on what's going on, but if you would like to, let us know and tell the listeners, that'd be great. I'm sure. I mean, you have a big story to tell. I know that for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, but stage 3 testicular cancer derived from a germ cell tumor. Big old fucking fancy words and shit. It started down there in the testicle, but like down there, you can't really get like a good reading to see if there's anything going on unless you do like a biopsy. So, um, yeah, it was kind of like it moved from there into my abdomen and into my lungs. And that was about a year ago when I finally got it diagnosed. But before that, it was probably about 6 months of dealing with pain and pressure in my midsection, losing weight, lack of sleep, and everything. Couldn't get comfortable, just popping ibuprofen like Skittles,
Mm.
but still going to work, still going to the gym, like taking my supplements and everything, putting everything, laying it out there on the floor and getting shit done. But in the end, it was just costing me exhaustion and whatnot. But once I finally got diagnosed, the doctor was like, "Yeah, you got cancer." And like, "All right, cool. What's the next step?" And he's looking at me. He's like, "Do you understand what I just told you?" I said, "Yeah." I leaned in. I said, "What's the next fucking step? I got shit to do, man. I got to call out of work tomorrow, man. I got a check to pick up. Like, fuck, dude, I still got shit to do. Like, my reality isn't stopping because I got a disease that just came out of nowhere, or, you know, that I possibly knew about it, but I didn't really want to know exactly. And then when I finally got the diagnosis, it was like, fuck, fucking knew it." But
That's a fucking awesome mentality to have when there's news like that, So I give kudos to you. Fucking A, brother.
yeah, I mean, it was scary. It eventually hit when I was sitting there in the hospital, all laid up in tubes and shit blowing in and out and chemo and whatnot, and my hair's starting to fall out little by little. And it's 3 weeks in the hospital and haven't, you know, been able to step outside but the courtyard. But it was It was tough,
So
but I just kept
hit you like a
thinking,
ton of bricks, huh?
yeah, it hit me. But after finally dealing with it and moving on to the next step and sitting there by myself and like, oh shit, then it finally hit. Fuck. Now I
Yeah.
look like a big ass baby over here sitting in the hospital and shit, but eventually it hits when the feelings and everything, it just finally hits. It's like boom.
Yeah,
Shit.
well, I'll tell you right now, like, um, that right there, and I see that you're posting workout, like you're working out still, and you're doing what you got to fucking do. You know what I mean? Uh, Still moving right along. You have a fucking awesome mindset, even with that going on. And you said it's only been a year. Like, I give fucking props to you, bro. Where were you at with all that now?
Um Before I got re-diagnosed, I was at a pretty good state. 4 months of clean scans, or not really clean, but zeroed out scans and markers weren't showing any growth. And I was looking at trying to compete in a show and whatnot, and still training. And then once I finally got re-diagnosed, that got stripped away, and I was like the biggest bummer ever. So that right there was like the biggest like motivational thing ever to keep going this time around, especially since they said that it was going to be a tougher treatment. And like getting admitted for a week in the hospital to do all this because it's our constant drip and whatnot. I got back, so doing all that, it went from growing to shrinking, and then my blood levels are like at a point to where it shows I don't even have cancer really, but that's where my doctor wants to keep it at. So now they're going to rush me down there to get my stem cell transplant so they can harvest the good cells, hit me with a ton of chemo, transplant, and then do it again. So I'll be down there for about 2, 3, 4 weeks or so. But
Well, that's good news. I mean, that's awesome news, though. I mean, not even showing signs of you having cancer anymore. You have more better or good blood cells than
yeah,
yeah. So you're
the
fucking
only thing that really shows up weak is the bone marrow. But other than that, they're like, what are you doing to gain weight and all this and everything? Like, you're not the typical cancer patient. And I was like, right there, you just said it. I ain't your typical cancer patient. Like, dude, just because I got cancer doesn't mean I'm gonna lay on my damn couch all damn day and woe is me. Like, no, I got shit to do. I still got a family to provide for, and I got a truck payment and whatnot. Reality doesn't stop because something happens. So I just use it for more motivation and whatnot. And I'm, also want to like be that type of person / patient that overcame and just didn't, subside to, letting this overcome, what I have and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, it's a disease and whatnot, but it ain't going to get the best of me, especially if I know it's treatable and whatnot. So I'm going to do what I can on my end to keep going and stay healthy and in shape and whatnot. And it's proven good shit, because my doctor, he's like, man, your test results and your scans and whatnot are like big improvements every time, and especially with your age and whatnot. And I'm like, well, everything starts declining once you start hitting 35, and this year I'll be turning 35. So it's like, you got to keep going and keep yourself healthy, fuel yourself with the good stuff and not all that shit. And you might have a better chance at, defeating all these diseases and sicknesses and COVIDs and whatnot.
yeah. You're like, oh, COVID, fuck you. You have nothing on me.
Yeah, yeah, fucker. The only one time I'm actually serious about wearing a mask, and they told me too, they're like, yeah, you need to wear a mask when you go out because this is really going to drop your immune system and you're going to feel like shit and this and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, I mean, I feel like shit when I'm in the hospital when I get it, but as soon as I'm out, it's like way. My appetite comes back. I'm like right back to normal as soon as I leave that hospital. And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be sick for this and no appetite." And I'm like, "Bullshit. I got ways of keeping my appetite and whatnot, and they're good, real good."
Protein
So
shakes. It's all it is.
yeah,
Protein shakes.
yeah. I took the Crav'in with me, my protein. I got to the point to where I couldn't eat, and I was just drinking shakes and the hydration and everything, and water, and then whatever else they're giving me. So I was like, fuck. But yeah,
No, that's
always a
awesome.
battle.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You're a true definition of a hardworking motherfucker for sure. You know what I mean? I've seen your posts and I'm like, this motherfucker's doing it. He's like working his and now you're still like working out every fucking day, and you're gonna be held up in the hospital for what you said, like 3 weeks, and you're still fucking pushing weights and you're still
Yeah,
fucking
about
working
three,
your
four.
ass off, you know? So that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Literally the day after, I just jump right back into it like normal. Like, don't fucking skip a beat. That's my day, and those are my days off. I'll literally go 3.5 weeks straight with maybe one day off of just training. And my fiance, she fucking hates it because she's like, "You're gonna hurt yourself." I said, No, fuck that. And then once the time comes to get my treatment, there's my rest and recovery, a whole fucking week right there.
Yeah. No stopping you though. Fuck that.
No, nah,
So,
fuck it.
so what keeps you motivated through all this? I mean, like,
Um,
it's got to be mentally. It's got to be kind of a mind fuck. Like, if I was going through it, I know I'm pretty mentally strong, but I mean, there's a limit. And
yeah,
I think you're like right there, bro. I'm just saying.
yeah, yeah. There's sometimes that I'll sit here and think, and I'll just wind up catching myself breaking down. It's like all this shit just hits me, reality, the bills, you know, the diagnosis, and all the insurance and shit just hits you, and it's just like boom. And I'll break down, and I'm like, damn, growing up sucks. Want to go back to being a little kid.
Yeah.
But I just keep thinking about my dad and what he went through as a single parent and whatnot. And that's one of my big motivations right there, is just I always look to him, and I know he's always looking out for me and whatnot. So I just try to be like, that mindset, what would my dad do in this situation, or how would he handle this, and go about it like that. And him passing away of cancer as well, is another motivation. So it's like me having this cancer and him passing away from the cancer is like double motivation, just to like, fuck cancer, kick it in the ass and keep going. And then inspire those that, are in the same position as me, let them know, like, dude, don't let this shit get you down. Just because you have something that's going to possibly kill you doesn't mean fucking you can, just sit there on the couch and, do nothing. Do something, because the more you don't do nothing, the more it's going to consume you. The more you do something about it, that shit, it's going to fucking back the fuck down and be like, goddamn, fucking, or this girl's fucking like a badass. There's no chance for me to fucking, consume this person or whatever. Hardworking motherfucker, fuck. That's basically how I keep it all the time. And that, and then my fiance, she's a real big player in this part right here. She's helped me out so much, so she's another motivation of mine too.
No problems, just work, right, brother?
Oh yeah, I can live by that shit.
That's pretty awesome. So, it runs in your family. You said your dad passed away from it.
Yeah. But wrong too. Yeah, he his was a bone cancer. It was a sarcoma, fucking rare bone disease, and it got him pretty good. And him really he was kind of like flying under the radar with work and whatnot. So he was getting paid under the cash, but he was getting like good amounts of money, but he couldn't record it. So it was like, fuck. So he basically went with the county insurance and whatnot, and then it was just a fucking gamble with that. And his tumor started right here on his collarbone, a little fucking golf ball size right there. And then through all the insurance and whatnot, it literally grew to about this big and was bulging out of his chest. And then by the time the insurance said we're gonna pay for it and do everything, they did the biopsy. It literally consumed his whole left side of the collarbone, and it looked like his delt just, grew like huge.
Yeah.
Like he was doing so many shoulder presses and whatnot, but I was like just on one side. And then once they took care of that and did what they had to do, and they found 3 more masses, and they were all golf ball to softball size tumors. And it was real aggressive, and the treatment and everything just was too much. And so he just, it kind of got to him pretty quick, and he was just like, well, it's my time. So.
How old was he when that happened?
He was 55.
Oh, so a little older.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're 35 fighting or dealing with this. You got a super fighting chance, especially with your mentality.
Yeah.
Overall, right? I mean, your motivation, your mentality, your health. Like, you seem pretty healthy when it comes to, stage 3, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, keep fucking going, bro. You're putting up you're fighting a good fight right now.
Yeah. The mental battle of it, that's the real key. And they'll tell you in the hospital, like, you got to stay, in your faith and everything, get with your family, stay positive. All the negative will literally affect you if you let it. It's that's no bullshit right there. That the negativity will fuck with you. And when I hear it, I get irritated, and I'm like, I'll leave the room, like, oh, we can't do this because, Martin's this and that. And I'm like, no, don't fucking speak for me about how I'm feeling of a certain way, like, dude, like, just treat me like a normal person. I'm here, I'm an able-bodied person. So it's like, don't go assuming I can't do nothing because I got this going on. It's like, let me do something because I have nothing going on. I'm out of work, so fuck, let me do something.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? I'm still fucking work. I'm an able-bodied. All right, don't fucking. That's just gonna put a negative effect on you. You don't need that shit right now.
Mm-hmm. When people start saying negative things like that, or it's like, it just really irritates me. And it's like, I'm trying to be the positive, inspiring type person, and negativity, just a little bit, it'll affect you in any little way, and it like irks me. And I'm just like, the old me would fucking just pop off and say something, but I'm like, it's not even worth the energy. But it really it really bothers me sometimes when people are negative and stuff. It's like, dude, like, literally, what are you being negative about? You're alive, you got this going for you, you got your job and whatnot, you're fucking working. Like, I'm like jealous of all the fuckers that get to go out and work every day still during all this, and then I also give them props for going out and working with all this crap and, possibly getting sick and risking their lives and shit. So it's like, I'm jealous, and I'm kind of like, but
well, if you catch it, don't bring it here, kind of.
Yeah, for real. Definitely.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure you have a lot of support from your family and everything as well. That's tough times. And I always say, me and my family, we keep in touch. I live 14 hours away from most of them, but I have my in-laws and my wife here and kids and everything. So they're like really close right now. And, but I mean, we always keep in contact. And one thing that I've always noticed is, I mean, it doesn't matter what family you are or who it is. If you're not close or if you are close, everybody comes together during hard times. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, and especially with all this COVID shit going on, and I mean, you're already fighting a battle. I mean, before this shit even started. So, I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure it brought the family together too, and I mean, I'm sure they're supportive as well, as long as just like your fiance.
Yeah.
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 So,
It's pretty crazy.
when did you start working out, like getting into the gym scene and being a gym junkie and shit?
Um. Well, as far as working out, it started back in high school, and then all of high school I was working out, and um, got into the weight training class, and then became the coach's assistant in another class. And my senior year, we had talked about getting the weightlifting program started up, and which hadn't been started up in years, is what I had heard. So it was like a pretty big, thing for me to like be a part of that. But we didn't get it started up, which was a bummer. But to be a part of something that was going to be brought back possibly was pretty cool. And then after that, I was kind of off and on with the work and the gym and everything and life and shit problems that come along with it. And then probably about the gym scene, probably about 7 years ago. Yeah, about 7 years ago, give or take, is when I started getting serious in the gym. That's kind of a funny story. It was a 45-day trial at In Shape that my brother had given me, and I was trying to avoid the reps there, and they're like trying to hit me up with the deals and everything. I was like, no, just want the 45 days for free. And finally, I got cornered, and they're like, oh, we want to get you in a contract, and my pre-workout was kicking in, so I was like, yeah, whatever, just trying to hurry up and get out, and got locked into a 3-year contract, and was like, shit, I was like, well, looks like I got to go get another job. I wasn't working at the time, and I was trying to get back on my feet and everything, so I was like, fuck, what did I do? So it was a big motivation just getting in the gym and getting a contract started to go out and get a job, and literally 2 weeks later got my job, and I was like, all right, fuck, now I could pay for this thing. And then once I got real serious in the gym and fell in love with going there and then just being there in the atmosphere and everything, it was just like you couldn't get me away from there. 2.5 hours every fucking day, 6 days a week, just boom, fucking intense.
Yeah. When did you meet? When did you find out about like Axe and Sledge and the demo crew?
That's a good one right there. That those two questions actually kind of go in together. Um, as far as Axe and Sledge, I followed Seth Rossi for a few years. I was watching his old stuff, and how he's doing all his stuff in his kitchen on the island right there, where he's got the Evogen and
He
the
does
shit from fucking
shit like that.
yeah, Blackstone Labs and Primeval and stuff, and preaching good quality ingredients and good quality supplements and whatnot. And yeah, it's gonna cost a bit. I was doing that for fucking a year, and then he came out with Axe and Sledge back when it was it's first starting, and hydraulic was pump fuel. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll go out and try and find some of that. Searching all up and down the fucking valley, and couldn't find shit for Axe and Sledge, And then finally, I was like, you know what? Let me go on this Instagram and see what's going on, and follow the demo crew. And I click on the thing to go apply on the demo crew, and they ask, take our supplements. I'm like, fuck, no. I could lie, But no, I'm going to be a good guy and say no. I got the email about a week later, and they're saying no on the exception for the demo crew. And I was like, oh, bummer. And like, here's a discount. Try our supplements. Oh, fuck, I guess I'm going to finally order them now. Never wanted to order anything. I just wanted to go out and get it. Finally ordered them, got them, and I ordered the stack of hydraulic ignition switch and the grind where you can pick your flavors.
Yeah.
And I got lemon lime hydraulic, shark bite grind, and scorpion venom ignition switch. And once I got them, I had not taken anything for a week. And once I got that shit, I was so happy. And when I took it, I was boom. Oh, fuck. Now I know what they're talking about. Damn. So that was back in September, last September.
Oh, okay.
And I just was taking their products, and then I saw something on the demo crew about a giveaway, and it said, must be a part of the demo crew. Ah, fuck. And so I looked at the rest of the posts, and I clicked on the thing, applied, and I said, fuck yeah. And on the last time when they denied me, I had replied back to Carly, and I said, hey, is there any way I can reapply later after trying the supplements and whatnot? And she's like, yeah, please do. So, all right. So I was going to wait longer and try all kinds of fucking supplements and whatnot. And then about a month and a half, 2 months later, I tried again. I was like, oh, sent my whole email in there and everything, and just thinking, getting ready to go to the gyms. Like, if they hit me up, cool. If not, whatever. I'm running out the door. I get the email, and it says, welcome to the demo crew. Boy, I done jumped out, slammed the door, fucking jumping up and down, screaming at the top of my lungs of joy. And I said, I'm a demo crew member. Fuck yeah. I was so pumped up. And my ignition switch and hydraulic are kicking in at this same time. And I'm just like fucking jamming, dude. I sent Carly the email back, and she's like, fuck yes. I was like, oh my God. Fucking jammed down there. My ear, I had a smile from ear to ear at the gym. You could not fucking tell me anything negative that day after that, dude. I was so pumped up. I was like, fuck. Hell yeah.
That's pretty legit. So, being part of the demo crew, what do you think it means to be a demo crew member?
But it's to be a part of the demo crew is like being a part of like a top-notch fucking badass family. The look and the name of the demo crew, it kind of gives it like a rough, like badass look, like, oh fuck, the demo crew. But when you see what's behind the demo crew, everybody's fucking like good-hearted, outgoing, outspoken fucking people that all care about each other and all care about the same shit. And that means a lot to me. And I didn't really have like this shit that we got going on in the crew. I didn't have stuff like that back in the day growing up, other than my dad supporting me and whatnot, and a few close friends. But as far as like 1,600 people, random people all across the states and countries supporting one another, that's a fucking big thing. And that means a lot to me. And that's like, you're supporting somebody you don't even know them. That's like family right there. That's a big fucking thing. So that it means a lot to me. And I hold it with pride and honor to fucking be a part of this. And AAR and All American Nutrition, all the stuff that Seth has going, and supporting the local businesses. I'm all for it like that. It's like, it means a lot.
Yeah, just the mentality. Like everybody in that group has the same mentality, same big heart. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
all supporting one another, 100%, 110% every time someone posts something. 30 comments on, hey, you know what, fuck yeah, hey, we're here for you. Or if you have tough times, everybody's just supportive and there for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I've met a lot of good people from that, just because I'm on the demo crew and I'm doing this, obviously.
Yeah.
Then I mean, it's cool. It's cool to be a part of that. You know what I mean? If you didn't have that before, it's a good place to be for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Really is. I mean, fuck. I mean, that's how we came across and everything. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, what the hell is this Crav'in Iron? Like, this sounds pretty badass. You know, and then it's like, oh fuck, they got Dean on there. I'm like, Dean's my dude. Fuck. All right. Fucking A. And then getting head up from the other podcast, I was like, fuck. All right, just doing a podcast. Period. I was just like, fucking A, man, let's do it.
Yeah. No, I'm speaking of the other podcast, it's really cool what Dante's doing with that, you know what I mean? I know that I know that Busby, he ended up leaving the demo crew for his own personal reasons, you know, but Dante, he's gonna keep it going, and now we're communicating, and you know, so we don't double back on people, so I don't have like you on, and you know, the next week he's gonna have you on, and you have to say the same story over again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if like before I get somebody next, hold on. Hey, Peanut. Before I get the next person, uh, he'll let me know, hey, I had this person on, you know what I mean? Or if he gets someone on, I'll say, yeah, I had him on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad you guys were able to communicate and, you know, get a little thing going. Cause I was wondering, but you know, I'm not that type to go out there and be like, oh, you know, my fucking fame, where'd it go? Excuse me. But I was like, oh, bummer, you know, what's gonna happen? But you know, I didn't want to jam him up with a bunch of questions and be like that dude, like, oh, all he wants to do is just fucking, you know, get his 15 seconds or 15 minutes of fame. You know, it wasn't like that at all. I was like wanting to support and, you know, tell my story or whatever, you know, since they was interested. And when I heard what happened, I was like, fuck, well, all right. And figured I'd let some time go and didn't hit him up. And then when I saw the post between you guys, I was like, oh, right on. You're like, fucking A, dude. That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, it's all. I was talking to Dante, and it's just we're both doing the same thing, or we both have the same goals, right? We're not too worried about the viewers and the subscribers and the likes and all that shit. It's like I know that this podcast with you, like this one in general with you, because of your story and what you're going through, I know that it's going to find somebody out there that's going through the same shit with not the same mentality, that needs that mentality that you have. You know what I mean? And it's going to touch that person, and they're going to end up fucking shit up like you are, you know. And when you get fully cured and you're all completed with this, okay, they're going to be doing the same thing because they heard your story and heard what motivates you and what's pushing you forward to be that fucking guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's about. We have the same. Me and Dante, we have the same goal. You know, so it's like, hey, let's communicate. Let's communicate a little bit, and just that way we can double team the shit out of this. You know, and we can both get the stories out there and motivate everybody out there. You know what I mean? More people.
Yeah.
Double whammy.
Yeah,
So
I'm all for that.
yeah, I think it's going to be a good move for both of us for sure. And we have some things coming up that's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be double teaming on. We're going to be like co-hosting, you know, every now and then. It's going to be good.
Nice.
Yeah, we were talking about it. It's not set up yet, but baby steps. But yeah, so
That's how it goes, man. One step at a time.
yeah, for sure. So what's your favorite supplement? This question is from a good buddy of mine that's just getting into working out, and I'll call him out. His name's Kevin Poole. He's actually from California, a couple hours away from you.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he's but yeah, so he's starting to work out and really get into it. I actually grew up with him, and he started seeing my posts about like my change and my transformation from being fat ass to, you know, now I'm just fluffy with a lot of muscle. But now he's starting to get into it, and he's actually getting into Action Sled supplements now, and he wants to be part of the demo crew. But he said one thing that he wants to ask you is like what's your favorite supplement, because he's starting to get into all the supplements now. And why is it your favorite supplement?
Like supplement, like the pre-workout or the hydraulic, or
Yeah.
Shit. Well, my all-time favorite flavor-wise is the Grind Swamp Beast. That one flavor-wise is fucking awesome. But recently, I think it's the fucking 7th gear now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that motherfucker kicks. I was taking ignition switch and trying all the flavors, and then once I got the 7th gear and tried about half to 3/4, man, I was just jamming and going, and like leg day was not the same.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is definitely my go-to leg day, like hands down.
Yeah.
It's like your fuck up juice. It's your fuck
But
up juice.
yeah, I think my all-time favorite. Yeah, big time.
So what kind of flavor you like? What's your favorite out of all the hydraulic and all that stuff? You have many to choose from.
Well, hydraulic, specifically in the hydraulic flavors, it's scorpion venom.
Mm.
It's like, I don't know if anybody else can taste it, but between the scorpion venom and ignition switch and hydraulic, I can taste the difference. But you know, it's the same flavor, but I can taste a slight difference. In the hydraulic has a little bit more of a berry flavor, a little bit better of a berry flavor than the ignition switch, I think. So like by far by itself, without adding anything else, scorpion venom in hydraulic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're with Tony Davis on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all time they need to hurry up and make that damn swamp beast in hydraulic so I can, you know, be getting that shit all the time, because once I hit the swamp beast, that flavor is like, oh my god, if they had the whole stack of that, that's all I'm getting is swamp beast. That's my
Yeah.
all-time favorite right there.
Yeah, Swamp Beast. I had it, and I had it for the first time about probably a good 2 weeks ago, and yeah, I mean, I was always worried about it because they say that it's they say that a lot of people don't like it, and then there's a lot of people that love it, and that it's their favorite. You know what I mean? But the people that do like it, it's their favorite, hands down. So I was like, I gotta fucking try this. So I tried it, and it surprised the hell out of me. Like I'm not a big like green apple guy, but tasted it, fucking flavor spot on. I'm like, okay, you know what? I think this is right under unicorn blood for me. Unicorn blood is my top.
Yeah.
But
So that's the thing. I'm a big apple flavors. So when I heard that was the flavor, I was like, yeah, dude. And I tried shark bite the first time, and oh yeah, this could be my new fave. And I was like worried about the swamp beast, so that's why I got the shark bite. So when I finally got it, I was like, oh man, I done regret that being my first fucking flavor right there. I should have got this shit way back then.
yeah, no, that's same with me. Like I've been taking the supplements for it's probably been about like a year now, maybe a little longer. But I mean, that's before I even got to the Action Sled supplements. I've been bouncing back and forth between supplements, trying to find one that works. And I was always a believer in, you take something for a while. Like I took C4 for a while, and I'm like, oh, it's going to die off. My body's going to get adjusted to it. So I changed it up to something else. I did Bucked Up for a while. They're pre-workout. But I bounced back and forth, and then when I got to Action Sledge, I was like, this shit's fucking good. I'm gonna stick to this, and I stuck to it, and it never fucking died down. And yeah, I mean, that's where we're at now. And now they're coming out with all these new flavors. It's like always fucking new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. That's how I felt. I felt the same way. And back last September is when I finally got my first shipment from them, and I was bouncing back and forth. BSN, Indo Rush. That was one that I used to take a lot because it was actually pretty good. And then fucking Animal, all the good stuff like that, bouncing back and forth, and finally got my Axis Sledge, and I literally cleaned up for about a week just to try this stuff to see how the effects were to hit you brand new instead of having, going from one straight to the other. And boy, I tell you, that scoop and a half the first time fucking lit me. I was like, fuck, ignition switch for sure.
Yeah.
Fucking never turn back.
And now they have 7th gear, and that's just like a kick in the ass in its own.
Damn, dude. I got that, and then being a part of American Made Nutrition, I like to try, keep a variety of different stuff. So, it's always different, not the same thing over and over. I got their high octane pre-workout from American Made Nutrition.
Oh yeah.
That motherfucker gets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a thermogenic or not, but every time I take that one, I am fucking sweating my balls off, man.
Yeah.
Damn. The flavor, the berry blast flavor, it doesn't really taste the greatest. I think it's the blast part. Like some pina colada coconutty flavor, and I'm not a big fan of coconut. That's the only thing being down is the flavor, but everything else, oh my god, it's another go-to right there for sure for leg day.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Martin, we posted this in the Axe and Sledge page and the Demo Crew page on Facebook, and we got a couple questions from a couple guys, and I'd like to get those knocked out if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I'm gonna share the screen with you. And get all this shit out of here. Okay. So here's our post right here. You looking all swole like.
Hey.
All
That's
right.
a good looking dude.
Okay, so the first question is from Tony Davis. He said this podcast is gonna be awesome. Thanks, Tony. Martin, how did you find Axe and Sledge, and what was the first product you bought? I think you covered how you found Axe and Sledge, but what's the first package you got in the mail?
It was that pick your own flavor stack. And Tony, I think you're gonna like this one for sure. Like, my first one was literally scorpion venom on the ignition switch. I heard a lot about it, and then I followed Tony before I even got on with the demo crew, and he was posting up and down about it, and I heard Seth talking about it, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it. Literally on the fucking on the first one, it was ignition switch and scorpion venom. Gotta get it.
Gotta get it. All right, there you go, Tony. Let's see. Dominic. Can't wait. Asked if it's going to be on Spotify. Yes, it'll be on Spotify. It's probably on Wednesday, the latest. It'll be on YouTube and Spotify. Tonight, this will be posted on YouTube, but Wednesday, the latest, just because I want to make sure that all the audio is perfect for Spotify, because you're not going to get the visual of it, obviously. All right, so what are your current goals while fighting health issues? And even though I think I know, what's your number one flavor of Axe and Sledge product? So first one, what's your goal or current goal with fighting the health issues?
Well, current goal is to stay in shape and healthy as possible going into this stem cell transplant, because once they start hitting me with all the surgery and everything, it's going to take a lot out of me. So probably going to drop about a good 20 pounds in weight. So my goal is just basically to stay bulking and, basically prep for the surgery.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a big deal. It's I know that just getting a transplant in general, that's that you have to be at a certain health level for them to even qualify you for that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the thing too. I had a what do you call it, a consultation on that, and the doctor, we did it through Zoom as well, but he was like, yeah, you look like you're a good candidate. You look healthy. He's like, size wise, you're looking pretty good. So and I'm like, oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So that's the questions right there. So, Martin, I appreciate you coming on. We've been on for, I think it's been a little more than an hour. So, do you have anything for anybody out there that's listening? And like I said, I know that this is going to hit home for some people out there that are fighting diseases, because I mean, you're fighting a big battle right now, and you're fucking killing it. So, is there any advice for anybody out there that you want to say before we can get off of this?
Well, my biggest thing is, through all this hard time of being diagnosed, and anybody out there listen to it, have the same diagnosis or worse or whatever, main important thing is to stay positive in your own mind. First off, like, you got to get yourself right in the head, stay positive, stay motivated, think about the next step. Don't don't let it consume you. And then also keep your faith, and keep the positive people around you, because that's definitely going to help out.
Yeah. Well, Martin, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. You are the definition of no problems, just work, and a real hardworking motherfucker. So I really appreciate your time. I really do. Keep fucking fighting, brother. I want to see that post that says, "Hey, everybody, guess what? I'm fucking cancer free. Let's fuck shit up."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm fucking waiting for it. Like, every time I see a post of yours about anything that you're doing, it's motivating.
Same here.
Just the push-ups. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, this fucking guy is fighting this, and he's still fucking doing this every day. He did chest day today. Like, motivating for guys that, I mean, I don't have real problems, and this is a definition of, like, no problems, just work. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, so everybody listening, I hope this podcast hits home for you like it did for me. It's a really motivational story from Martin. And this podcast is for anybody with a story out there that wants to motivate and wants to change lives. Our goal in this podcast is getting the story out there of the average guys like us, the hardworking motherfuckers of the world, blue collar workers. Anyway, so share this podcast, subscribe to my channel, and get this podcast out there for everybody to hear. And hopefully we could get that one person that's going to actually help them change their life and push them through anything that they're going through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, again, Martin, I appreciate it, brother. Keep fucking working your ass off. Keep motivating.
Definitely will do. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, brother.
Have a good one, brother.
You too, man.